For years, Rush fans believed one question might never be answered. What does Neil Peart's widow really think about Anika Nilles stepping into the most impossible role in rock? After months of speculation, Carrie Nuttall-Peart has finally shared comments that are giving fans a much clearer picture. But what she said isn't what many people expected. Rather than fueling controversy, her remarks focus on honoring Neil's legacy while recognizing the respect Anika has shown toward his music and the band's future. Replacing Neil Peart was never about finding the next Neil. That's impossible. Neil wasn't just Rush's drummer, he was the band's primary lyricist, a visionary musician, and one of the most influential drummers in rock history. Since his passing in 2020, fans have wondered if Rush could ever return without feeling like something essential was missing. Geddy and Lifeson wrestled with that same question for years before deciding to continue with Anika Nilles, a drummer widely respected for her technical brilliance and deep musicality. As Rush prepared to return to the stage, one thing became clear. No drummer could ever replace Neil Peart in the hearts of fans. Instead, the goal was to find someone who could perform his incredibly demanding parts with respect and authenticity. That search led to Anika Nilles, whose work in progressive music had already earned admiration from drummers around the world. Her precision, creativity, and calm stage presence made her a natural fit for one of rock's most challenging catalogs. According to reports and interviews surrounding Rush's return, Carrie Nuttall-Peart has emphasized that Neil would have wanted his music to continue inspiring people rather than remaining untouched forever. While she has consistently protected Neil's legacy and personal memory, there is no credible evidence that she has criticized or attacked Anika Nilles. Instead, her reported comments have reflected appreciation for the care being taken to honor Neil's life's work and the musicians who continue to celebrate it. For Anika, accepting the role came with enormous pressure. She has openly acknowledged Neil's unmatched influence on generations of drummers and has never claimed to be his replacement. Her focus has always been on paying tribute to his legacy, while bringing her own professionalism to every performance. That attitude has earned respect from many longtime Rush fans, even though some remain understandably emotional about seeing the band without Neil. What has surprised many fans is how carefully Geddy, Lifeson, and Anika Nilles have approached this new chapter. Rather than trying to recreate the past, they've consistently emphasized that every performance is meant to celebrate Neil Peart's extraordinary legacy. Anika has repeatedly demonstrated her respect by studying Neil's complex drum parts in detail while still performing them in a way that reflects her own musical identity. That balance has been praised by many musicians, who say honoring a legend doesn't mean becoming an imitation. Carrie Nuttall-Peart has also remained focused on preserving Neil's memory through his writings, charitable work, and the impact he left on generations of fans. Publicly available information does not show her making hostile remarks about Anika Nilles. In fact, much of the online speculation has come from fan discussions, clickbait headlines, and social media rumors, rather than verified statements. That's an important distinction because stories can spread quickly online without reliable evidence. As more fans watched Anika perform Rush's demanding songs, many of the early doubts began to fade. Her technical skill was never the biggest question. It was whether she could earn the trust of one of the most passionate fan bases in rock history. Night after night, she has shown humility, professionalism, and a deep appreciation for the responsibility she carries. Another reason Carrie Nuttall-Peart's comments have attracted so much attention is because she has rarely spoken publicly about Rush's future since Neil's passing. Whenever she has shared memories of Neil, the focus has almost always been on his character, his love for family, and his lifelong dedication to music. That makes any public statement connected to Rush especially meaningful for fans who still miss him deeply. For Geddy and Lifeson, the decision to move forward wasn't made overnight. Both musicians have spoken openly about how difficult it was to imagine performing again after losing their friend and bandmate. They understood that some fans would never be comfortable with anyone sitting behind Neil's drum kit. At the same time, they also recognize that Neil's music continues to inspire millions around the world, and performing those songs is one way of keeping his legacy alive rather than letting it fade. Anika Nilles has approached every performance with that same mindset. She doesn't try to copy Neil's personality or present herself as his successor. Instead, she treats every show as a tribute to one of the greatest drummers in rock history. That humility has gradually won over many longtime Rush fans, who now see her as someone honoring Neil's work instead of trying to replace him. While opinions will always differ, one thing has become increasingly clear. Respect for Neil Peart remains at the center of everything this new chapter represents. As the conversation continued, one message stood above all the rumors. Preserving Neil Peart's legacy has always mattered more than creating controversy. That's why it's important to separate verified information from internet speculation. While social media posts and sensational headlines often suggest there is conflict surrounding Anika Nilles, there is no reliable public evidence that Carrie Nuttall-Peart has attacked or condemned her. Instead, the public discussion has centered on honoring Neil's contributions to music while allowing new generations to experience Rush's timeless songs. For Anika, this journey has been about far more than technical ability. Every concert places her under intense scrutiny because Rush fans know Neil's catalog inside and out. Yet she has accepted that challenge with remarkable grace, often letting her performances speak louder than words. Fellow musicians have praised not only her extraordinary drumming skills, but also her humility and respect for Rush's history. Perhaps that's the biggest takeaway from this story. Neil Peart's influence remains stronger than ever, not because someone has replaced him, but because the musicians around him continue to celebrate what he created. Carrie Nuttall-Peart's perspective reminds fans that Neil's legacy isn't defined by one performance or one drummer. It's defined by the music, the inspiration, and the lasting impact he left on millions of people around the world. In the end, this story isn't really about replacing Neil Peart. It never was. It's about how one of rock's greatest legacies continues to live on through the music he created and the people committed to honoring it. Carrie Nuttall-Peart's reported comments have reminded fans that respect, gratitude, and preserving Neil's memory matter far more than online rumors or sensational headlines. At the same time, Anika Nilles has continued to earn admiration by approaching every performance with humility, professionalism, and a clear understanding that Neil's place in Rush's history can never be filled. Whether you've supported Rush from the very beginning, or you've only recently discovered their incredible catalog, one thing is certain: Neil Peart's influence will continue to inspire musicians for generations to come. The conversations surrounding Anika Nilles, Geddy, Alex Lifeson, and Carrie's perspective all point to the same truth. Neil's music is still bringing people together years after his passing. What do you think? Has Anika Nilles done enough to honor Neil Peart's incredible legacy? Or do you believe no one should ever perform Rush's music in his place? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Rush news, updates, and stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.